Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to the adjudicators and all of the audiences. I am Ruvina Azizah from the First Senior High School in Tasikmalaya, and I am here as the first speaker of the affirmative team. Ladies and gentlemen, the motion for today's debate is that this House would criminalize individuals and organizations who do not recycle. Ladies and gentlemen, the earth recycles everything and reuse the materials from dead plants and animals to feed new plant life and make new soil to replenish itself. Humankind should take cues from Mother Nature and recycle everything. Since the invention of plastic from oil, landfills because it doesn't decay and filling the oceans with debris that harms and even kills marine life. Ladies and gentlemen, in the daily life, we must be familiar with the word trash or litter. But what exactly is litter? According to the dictionary, it refers to goods or objects that are discarded because they are no longer used. The word litter also means a material that is waste or disposed of from sources resulting from human activities and natural processes that do not yet have economic value. The waste that we produce usually we throw in the trash can and then we take it to the temporary shelter or TPS. TPS is a place before waste is transported to a recycling, processing and or integrated waste processing site. From the TPS, the waste will be transported to and carried by the environmental service using a garbage truck to the final processing site or TPA. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sure we all know the disadvantages of litter. This includes pollutes the environment, can affect to health problem, and etc. However, a litter is actually can be useful if we reuse it and recycle it. Actually, before we send the waste to the temporary shelter, the waste can be reused by doing a system called 3R, which refers to reuse, reduce, and recycle. This motion said that we should make it illegal for an organization or individual who is not recycling, and as an affirmative team, we strongly agree with the motions. Before we going further, I would like to give some definition for the motions today. The word criminalize is turning an activity into a criminal offense by making it illegal. It means that if an individuals or organizations do not recycle their waste, we should bring them to law. The word individuals itself means relating to one person thing or a thing rather than to a large group. The limitation for this is that an individual that lives in Indonesia. And organizations refers to all of the social organizations that is using a natural resources for their services. The limitation for this debate is that the country in Indonesia. Now into my argument, here are two things that I want to discuss, that I want to present on this debate. Number one, criminalize individuals and organizations who do not recycle can lead to better living environment. And the second point is why is it principally justified to criminalize individuals and organizations that do not recycle. Ladies and gentlemen, recycling is a daily activity that is a great way to protect our environment and stimulate our economy. Recycling saves resources, prevents pollution, supports public health, and creates a job. It saves money, avoids landfills, and best of all, it's easy. Well, for further explanations, a trash, a litter, or waste, as we all know, having a bad impact on the environment, right? What if we let individuals and organizations not recycling their waste? Tons of waste will fulfill all of the area in the country. The first consequences from not recycling will be pollutions. There are many different kind of pollutions. For example, the styrofoam, which carries water, or coffee pollutes the ground by leaking nasty chemicals into the soil. And if enough of these chemicals build up, this can cause cancer. The air also gets polluted each time you drive your car. Plastic particles from water bottles and chemicals pollute our water. That's why you should always recycle them. Into the second effect of not recycling is overflow of landfills. Landfills are designed to deal with waste. However, if we threw everything away when it could be recycled, the landfill would fill up and will be unable to cope with this large load. It will also create unpleasant smells and end up being toxic from all of the harmful chemical waste arise from the styrofoam, batteries, microwave cleaning supplies, and other household products. Making little recycling efforts helps substantially in keeping landfill sites under control. The next impact of not recycling is destruction of natural habitats. When we do not recycle, reuse, and reduce, we just destroy natural habitats. As it is, our Earth cannot cope with the current rate of destructions. By failing to reuse what we already have, we'll end up in sticky situations of running out of resources. Now, the last effect of not recycling is climate change, which is a trending topic these days. The Earth has undergone multiple climate change, all part of its natural processes and evolutions through many millions of years. But since the industrial revolutions and the burning of fossil fuels that has changed, humans now represent the main contributors to the planet's warming, mostly because of the greenhouse gases, methane and carbon dioxide for the most part, added to the atmosphere from industries, electricity consumptions, exhaust from cars, and much more. Recycling and composting have reduced how much greenhouse gas was released. Now, into the second point, in Indonesia, there is a law for people who polluting the environment. The PPLH law regulates criminal sanctions for environmental pollutions. According to the Article 60 of the PPLH law, everyone is prohibited from dumping waste and or materials into environmental media without a permit. If any party violates these provisions, the party will be subject to a maximum of 3 years imprisonment and a maximum fine of 3 billion rupiah. This clearly can be a good reason to propose a statement that we should criminalize individuals and organizations that do not recycle. In Indonesia itself, we already have a nice starting point for recycling. For example, in the supermarkets, we don't use plastic bag anymore. We use reusable bags that are made from safe materials. Cannot forget to mention that we have a reusable straws and bottle made from a metal that can replace the bottle, and straws made from plastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we really should criminalize individuals and organizations who do not recycle for various reasons. There are a lot of other solutions for them to start recycling their waste. Here are solutions that I want to give to the public this time. We can send their waste to a place called Bank Sampah, which refers to a facility for managing waste with the 3R principle, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle as a means of education, behavior change, and waste management, and the implementation of a circular economy, which is formed and managed by the community, business entity, and or local governments. Ladies and gentlemen, taking everything into the considerations, I strongly agree with the motions, as we really need to criminalize individuals and organizations who do not recycle, because it can help us heal the environment, and we already have a law to discuss about this thing. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi